Okay, first off, no, this is not another compilation type, steal other people's content and make videos. We're not going there. What I'm going to do is give you my 8 tips, if I can count, on how you can make money on YouTube without actually recording the videos yourself. So let's get right into it. My first one is going to be my #1 secret, and you don't hear anybody talk about this anymore. And this used to be a really good way when, and more popular when messaging was allowed on YouTube. So in the coming weeks, and months, we've been seeing this thing about handles. So it's going to play a big part in that. So stay tuned. So I'm going to break this into 2 parts. In this video, I'm going to tell you the way to do it. Second part, I'm going to jump onto my computer and I'm going to screen record exactly how you do it. Some people are going to be able to take this information and run with it. Some people may want to see exactly what tab you go to, all that. So method #1 is simply reaching out to other creators and positioning yourself as the brand authority. So don't be intimidated by this part. All you have to do is reach out to them and get them to promote you. Now, you can't go to a huge YouTuber, Gary V. You can't go to him and say, hey, would you please put my link to my product or the thing that I want to promote in your video? No. I mean, we're not going to go the route of where you have to spend $1,000, $2,000, $4,000 for somebody to do a brand placement for you. But there are going to be people who are on the upper tier, who are already, say they got a high CPM niche. They're going to be making enough money already that, if they say that they want to help out YouTubers, other smaller channels, then, this is a good way to test it, if they're really like that or not. So, but what you want to do, the method, well, let's talk about the second part. Second part is something you can use too, and smaller channels who are under 1,000 but have videos that are taking off and getting a lot of views. And one good way is vidIQ or TubeBuddy. You could find a link for TubeBuddy down in the description. If you want to check that out, please do. And the way it works is, let's say I have, good God, I'm not going to use the dog walking niche or the dog niche. Everybody goes to that. So let's say I have a niche for financing, and I have a link that's a really good, either be affiliate link or my product. Like I'm going to make my new YouTube course that from years ago, and I'm going to revamp it to cover all the things that I see being left out that still works amazing, but people keep following and rehashing videos that they see. So this is likely going to be something you haven't heard before. So one way to do it is, once you have your offer, I'm going to show you how to do that in the other video, but affiliate link, your link, whatever you want to promote your video. You approach the creator, and you can do this by going to the community tab if they have the community open, or you can go to the About section on their channel page. And most of the time, if they're open to any kind of brand deals, you'll be able to click on the CE email address. This will be for business inquiries, right? And you can reach out to multiple people. It doesn't have to necessarily be your niche. So you can email them and say, hey, and legitimately watch their videos and subscribe before you do that, right? That's an amazing trick, because they'll be able to see, okay, this person is subscribed, and use your email that you are, that you subscribed with to contact the person. And if it's handles, that's going to open up a whole new realm of opportunity to be able to mention them. And in the beginning, YouTube's not going to be able to throttle that. The reason you can't just straight up message people anymore like you can on Facebook, and then, you know, they can check their people that they don't know, and, you know, a lot of it's spam, whatever. And that was the reason YouTube stopped doing that. And I used to have a software where I could see a trending video, and people that didn't have any links in their description at all, because a lot of people don't. They'll put, you know, other people that, are doing compilation videos or gaming videos, and, you know, they don't have any products to promote, or they don't really care about it, but they'd be open to $20, $40, $60. You know, as a general rule, you're going to pay a little bit more, but I used to start with 40. And in an already proven offer that you know is going to work, you know, or something that there's going to be a lot of clicks to, you know, people naturally, a certain amount check the description for a link, will click on it, and then it has to be an offer that will sell, or that will get you the view. And so you're going to give them, you know, $40 or however that might be, right? But as a general rule, on a channel that's really spiking, you got a video that's really spiking, you just reach out to them and say, "Hey, I really like your content. I'm a subscriber. Would you consider putting a link just in your description on the, you know, first line? You know, try to negotiate for the first line underneath their, or second line, you know, just in that first bit so people will see it. And just say, hey, will you just put this short? You can use, I don't recommend Bitly. You can use Tiny or a link shortener, or just your link. You don't want to take up any more of their real estate than you have to. But you're paying them to put the link in the description, so you don't even have to mention it. Would you just go back and edit your video and put in a link for me? You can check it out. It's not spammy, so don't give them any spammy links, you know, to something ridiculous, pyramid scheme or something like that. But like if you were creating a course, or you were promoting an offer, you know, say a high paying offer, or you were promoting, softwares are really good because most softwares aren't spammy. They have good customer acquisition and good retaining rates. So that's money that you can make. And, you know, if somebody approached me and said, hey, would you, I got $40 for you. All you got to do is put a link in your description. And, you know, it's best to avoid people who already have a lot of links. But at the same time, if they're already using a lot of links, then they're already going back and adding them at certain times when they acquire a new link, you know. So, and it just never hurts to ask. And that's $40. I've always seen a return on that, because especially on a video that's taking off and going viral, and it doesn't even have to get, you know, tens of millions or even 1 million views. Just a video that's taking off in a niche that would prefer that offer, your content, whatever. And it will continue to get links, you know. Unless you get really, really serious with this method, you don't need a contract. Just say, hey, just leave it in there for the rest of the life of the video. And if we need to renegotiate, we can. Say if the video takes off, you know, only do that if they want to come back and charge you more, or they take the link down. Then, you know, and even generally 30 days is really pretty good on a video that's taking off. But most people, they're not going to want to go back and change the links. It's a pain. You do that too many times, and you get a flag for a minute from YouTube. You change your title too many times, your thumbnail too many times. They're saying, hey, wait a minute, what's going on? You know, because they've already given you a certain ranking based on everything that's there. So if you suddenly change it, it'll switcheroo. You know, they're not really going to like that. So I'll show you in the next part exactly how to do that. But it's a phenomenal way, and it's a good way for us as creators and building a small channel back up to encourage someone to say, hey, if you want to reach out for the link in my description, then this is what I don't even talk about money. Just say, reach out to me on my about page, reach out to my email, and we'll come to an agreement. And you can do that at the end. If you don't want to do that, interrupt the customer experience, you can do it at the end. And so that's another way, is you could also offer that service on Fiverr. You could say, if you just wanted to get several in, I wouldn't take more than 3 or 4 per video. Just say, I have a channel in the meditation niche. That's stuck in my brain because I'm going to do that, and to see if it works and to see if I can make it work, because it's a wonderful niche, but it's horrible for a new channel in today's day and age. It's just so hard to break even the first 50 pages. But let's say, so that's method number 2. So that's offering a service, and that can be one of these services. You can go on, Fiverr or Upwork, and, you can offer your services to critique the video, or to offer a spot on your videos that you've made that you didn't even record, because that's the theme of the video, right? So that's, another way too, is to offer services. If you're good with editing, you don't have to do any of the recording, you can offer that. So that's how you can make money on YouTube as well. You can reach directly out to the creator and say, hey, I'm a legit person, you can check me out here. And the more normal you make it sound, the better. It's like, hey, if they have a really obscure handle, and if you call them by Mr. Flat Shoes 283978652, they're going to know that you just grabbed that off the page, or you're using some kind of automated software. So you don't want to do that when you reach out either way, even if it's for your service. Just say, I'm an up-and-coming person, just offering services. You can see, hopefully you can get reviews on anything you do on Fiverr, or Upwork, or I think it's workers.ph. So this works too, almost no matter what country you're in, as long as you can use a payment system to get paid, or they can pay you. So that's another good way, because in actuality, if you work out a deal where you get a description either way from them or to you, it can be, they can send you a check in the mail. As soon as it comes, you send them a check. So that works really well. Number 3 is, it's a little bit harder. Some of this takes money, but you can actually invest in YouTube. You can invest in Alphabet, which is what it goes by on the actual name of the corporation. I think it's the actual on the stock ticker, it's GOOG, but double check that if you want to do that. I'm not offering financial advice. I'm not offering you investment advice. I'm just saying a lot of people have made a lot of money investing in Google, Alphabet, and, which owns YouTube. So you can effectively own shares of YouTube and make money off it and never even record a single video. So that's one way. The 4th way, and it's a little talked about, but it is possible. Use at your own risk, and don't. I'm gonna have to cut that out. Now the 4th way is a use at your own risk type of thing, but it can be huge. What a lot of people do is, rather than create their own business, their own website, their own e-commerce store, they will buy one. They'll buy one that has enough numbers that either, if they're really good at it, they can tweak it and make it better, or it's already producing really good income, and so it's going to be, you're going to pay for a certain factor, sometimes it's a factor of 10 of what they're making. So if if a channel is making $200 a month and is already monetized, well, it might sell for $2,000. You can buy a channel for a lot less than that. It just depends. So a lot of times you can find a channel for sale. Now, what you want to make sure is that it's not subscribers that are just going to last for 2 weeks while you purchase it, and then it's going to drop off. They're going to drop off and then it's not going to be monetized anymore. But if it's a channel that has a lot of amazing videos and they just have been horrible at their thumbnails or their description or whatever, but you look at it and go, hey, would you be interested in selling your channel? If this channel has 1,000 videos and they're all good and that person can't make money from it, well, there's a good chance you can follow the advice even from this channel and turn an existing channel into a money-making powerhouse. Some things to check for: make sure that they're not using copyrighted material that can't be used, that's not acceptable under the fair use. Make sure that if they are monetized, that the subscriber count is not going to get decimated the second you buy it, right? So you have to be careful of that. So definitely look for reviews, Trustpilot on who's ever selling it. With the individual, sometimes you can get lucky, and because if there's proof, especially if the channel's a few years old, they've grown organically, maybe they're just tired of doing it. YouTube burnout is a real thing. So they might take a little chunk of change and you get the channel, and then it's up to you to run it, and you're all fresh-faced and bright-eyed. You can turn that into something that they just don't want to do anymore. So that's another thing, would be look at their videos, and if you see that they're not enjoying it anymore, that's a good sign that they might be ready to sell. So we can go over some of those logistics, later. Make sure that you're not going to get penalized. You're going to break YouTube services, and that's another thing. The last thing on that one is make sure that they don't have any copyright strikes or claims, or especially things like hate speech or any children in the video whatsoever. So if you had disposable income, you could have someone from Fiverr, which is also a service you could offer. I will examine channels for you for potential purchase. And that's actually what, if I was going to do that, I would look on Fiverr, because it doesn't have to be something that someone charges $50 an hour for. Say, I will look through a person's channel. This is what I would look for, to someone that would look through the channel to make sure everything's cool. And you could even hire them to approach the seller for you. You don't even have to do the work, but I recommend doing it. And then, especially if you're interested in a niche, then you know what's being made. What looks organic. I can look at a channel now and I can see that the same person on two different make money on YouTube channels, same person writes some obscure comment, and I'm like, okay, that's unnatural, but whatever. But so you would want to look out for things like that. But buying a channel, especially a legit monetized one, or one that's close, or one that won't take much to be monetized, and loading that into your arsenal, and because you can add users to your YouTube account now. So if you needed work done, you could add a user that has certain credentials. So that's, I highly encourage you to think about that, because a lot of the biggest businessmen in the world, all they've ever done is bought another business and made it better, or just bought it. Someone, sometimes people want to retire. There goes my screen for my notes. Okay, so we can't talk about making money on YouTube without recording a video, without talking about things like stock footage sites. iStock, Storyblocks, ArtGrid.io is a good one now. pay, and it's a little more expensive. So if you're comfortable with just taking pieces of already existing video and stringing it together, you can do that. Another way is you can reuse content, but I don't recommend just start taking people's stuff. For one, even if they don't care, you don't know where they got that from. And I know personally of several people who used a clip that contained someone else's copyrighted information and just used a little bit of it. And it's almost like it was baited out there to be used. And then that company jumps in and says, hey, you've got to give us a share. Well, they complain to YouTube, and YouTube tries to mitigate it and says, or litigate it, and says, hey, that you have to share a portion of your monetization with them. And trust me, a lot of those type of companies, they will wait for you to be monetized and wait for you to make a big video, and they'll come crashing in on you because they planted a seed in some of the other compilation videos and says, yeah, put it as Creative Commons, and say, yeah, use our stuff. Well, then they take the Creative Commons off, and suddenly that little portion of clip that's copyrighted that they didn't tell you about, or they never told anyone about, suddenly they can look and find it anywhere on the internet, basically. Is why I recommend be very careful with the channels. I just talked to a guy on Reddit the other day. I said, he wants to upload compilation videos or do gaming videos. I said, be careful about the music that they use, because the music is the #1 thing that can totally destroy your channel if you use the wrong piece of music, especially if you used it in all your videos. So be careful about the music, and any chance you have to make your own music, the better. There's lots of opportunities to make money. You could technically not make a video and just do a recording and get it for the audio. That's actually a thing. So at least on my list, whatever we're on, this is the 6th way, and that is you can start a blog and just use other people's videos that allow embedding. So I would check first, but nobody I know really checks the box to not let it be embedded. If it's content that you are afraid could be misconstrued the wrong way, then that might be something that you would want to do. But generally, if someone embeds your video on their website, or especially you should always have some sort of website, whether it's free or not, to be able to embed your video in. But if you take, let's say, there's a really popular education channel, or say you're really interested in yoga and you want to sell a yoga product, but you don't want to be on camera, you don't want to record videos, or you don't have the means. Well, you can start a yoga blog, and you can find a popular, several popular yoga channels, and then go down, get the embed code, and I'll show you exactly how, one way you can do that. And that's get the code and post it with the video, write your own blog material, and say, if you want to follow along in the video, go up to the video. And yes, you can sacrifice some of your traffic to that video getting watched on YouTube, but it's not your video anyway, and you're going to be essentially giving that person a view because it counts. So you're going to boost your authority by having their video on your page. And then you can also have, if you are, maybe you aren't trying to get monetized with your own YouTube channel, but you are AdSense modified or with another ad company, and you space them properly on your blog and the things that you're promoting, and you write a good article. Well, having that on the page actually helps you in search. Video and imagery can get that blog way higher in search. So that's another way that you can make money from affiliate products, your own products, Amazon products, by having different links on your blog pages and simply piggyback off the authority by having a video of a popular person or someone who really knows what they're talking about. Now, if it's an educational series, it's probably better that you don't, try to never act like you're the person. Say, this is an awesome video from this person. Then they're most likely never going to want to ask you to take it down. Why would they? Because you're promoting their content, you're giving them views. You're just using it as an aid to, help people understand it more on your page. And that's how you have to think about it. As long as everything is a win-win for everybody, then you usually have no recourse for a complaint. And all you have to do is find one similar. If they were to complain, you can find another video to embed. It's very easy. You just substitute another one out. Now, another way is you can partner with someone who is all about video creation and being on YouTube, and work out with that person, a revenue type of share. So let's say, I don't want to be on video about a certain topic. Let's say golf. I like golf, but I don't want to make videos about it. Let's say I have a girlfriend or a guy friend who is all about golf, and they really want to start a channel, but they don't know how. But you do. And stick with here. Consider subscribing to this channel, because I'm going to show you everything you need to know. And I'm going to be coming out with a course really soon that's going to help start a channel and describe all these ways too. So you approach your friend, or just reach out to people and say, hey, I want to start a golf YouTube channel. I want to do a revenue share. Or if you have the money just to pay them like an actor, you can. They can be the face of your channel. They can even do the recording and say, you'll be the promoter, you'll provide the equipment, you'll do the uploading and the editing. All they have to do is, work together if you can, but you don't have to actually sit there with the camera. That you'll do all the work, except for they just have to film themselves doing tips, whatever, and say you'll split it 50-50. There are a lot of people that will do that. I'm actually looking for someone right now who, even though I know a lot about the outdoors, survival, but I'd really like to find someone who wanted to do that and film themselves out in the wild. And if it's compelling content, then that's less work that I have to do, and I can just take the videos, promote them, edit, promote them, work with each other and say, these are the ideas, next time you're out there, try to get a different angle of the fire that you made, or this and that, because I'm going to start other channels as well, woodworking and things like that. So anytime you can joint venture, JV with someone, split the profits, that's another great way. Just make sure that it's someone that you can trust, and the key words of any relationship, the relationship with me and you, or you and anyone else, is you need to get that person to know, like, and trust you. And usually that comes from authenticity. And the reason, I'm starting, well, I showed in another video, but one of the reasons I'm starting a lot about faceless YouTube channels is because I get really nervous on camera. And a lot of that will come through, and I'm sure I'll get better. But if I had someone who wanted to be YouTube famous and was really on about it and knew all about the subject, they just didn't know how to do the videos, I could make that person a lot of money. And me too. And you can, for the final one, you can do a compilation style where you just take from other videos. Now there's a way to do it that I'll show you, but you can take pieces of other videos that are on YouTube. What you're not allowed to do, that's against YouTube terms of service, is to download straight from YouTube. Yes, there's websites that do it, and usually the website will get shut down and they'll add a letter or two or a number to the web address. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. And then it gets taken down again. Some of it gives you little nasties on your computer that you don't want. So I don't recommend using a downloader that maybe I'll show you a sneaky way how to download a YouTube video without having to go to any of those sites. But technically, you don't want to break YouTube terms of service, because there's a different way to do it where you can clip out part of the video and use that and use it within about 8 seconds of it. You know, people like Watch Mojo. You know, people ask all the time. I see it in a lot of the forums. How are channels like Watch Mojo just taking all these big movie clips? You know, well, they're big enough. They could have bought the rights to them. Okay. You know, if you have, I forget what they have, 30 million, 50 million subscribers, you're making enough money a month. You could probably reach out to the production company and say, hey, I want to use a certain amount of minutes of your footage of, or even seconds of this movie. How much will it cost me? You know, at that point, you really need somebody who knows the inside of the business to go do that. You know, I have no clue how to do that, but I do know you don't want any copyright strikes just from taking stuff that you're not supposed to, or a creator that really would come after you. And be careful where you get the compilation type stuff from, because a lot of people, they just throw this information out there, and this is like the first one on their list, and it gets so many people in trouble, and it's so frustrating to me because I don't want you to get in trouble or make it just a really bad video with a bunch of, you know, compilation stuff that everybody's doing. And there are different ways to do it, and we'll talk about that. And for number 9, I've got a bonus that I'm going to go deep into in another video, but that's actually using shorts. Now, there's a way that you can do it, especially with the iPhone, that you don't ever have to record a single second of video. I can promise you that. And there are different ways that you can monetize that, because right now there is going to be a way that you can get monetized for shorts. Upcoming, it's going to be, you have to have 10 million. That was the last number that I heard, was 10 million views on cumulative views on shorts, and 1,000 subscribers to get monetized. Currently, I believe as of right now that shorts do not count toward your monetization statistics. Possibly subscribers that come from a short would, but your views on your short do not count toward that 4,000 watch hours that you need to get YouTube monetizations. But that's a bonus, and that's going to be its video all its own. So hopefully you got some value from this. Check it out. Hopefully up here there'll be a second part of this video where I take you into the computer with me. Not technically all the way into it, but I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you each one of these. And hopefully I broke it down pretty good for you, because I may have done 10 steps in there, but I'll try to number it out for you. But thanks for sticking around and watching. Please, if you get a chance, like, subscribe, whatever. Just hope you got value, and go out there and try some of these methods, because for each time that you have rejection, the next time could be that one that hits big. You know, you could land in agreement with someone. I've seen it happen where you pay them $40, it's on a video that's rising, suddenly that video goes viral and people click the link and it makes them tens of thousands of dollars. And the video creator is so happy to be going viral and getting all these millions of views, they could care less about what that link is doing. And most of the time, they don't even know that it's being clicked. And tons, I mean, hundreds of thousands, if not millions and millions of creators don't utilize links in their description at all. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's leaving money on the table, and that's opportunity for people like me and you to say, hey, you know, I noticed that it doesn't look like you're monetized yet. I'd like to put a link in your description if you didn't mind. I'll pay you $40. How does that sound? I can PayPal it, Venmo, whatever. You'd be surprised how many times it works and the money you can get back from it. So if you have a 2x return, if all that made you was you spent 40 and you made back 80, you do that, replicate that several times. And as long as you're making money, then your time's never wasted. How long did it take to write a simple email? I'll even give a template. I'll give a template in the next part that I upload. Video template to use, and this is what I used to use in my messages. I'll have to find it, but I nearly have it memorized. That you can use because nobody's doing it anymore. I've watched, at this point, I've been in hundreds of YouTube courses, and nobody talks about this method anymore. Nobody talks about a lot of methods that still work. I promise you. So watch as this channel blows up, and all along the journey, I'll show you what I'm making. I'm going to show you the channels that I make and what I'm making off of them. Nobody else will show you their actual YouTube automation cash cow channels that are making them $30,000 a month. Okay, if they're either not making that or they're simply scared, because sharing it on their videos isn't going to hurt them. I promise you. Their channel's not going to fall off the map because, number one, they're copying someone else's stuff. I can promise you. And second, they're probably not. So, we'll see you in the next one.